Welcome to our top 15 AI news for 2025. The year 2025 was full of news on AI, breakthrough, a lot of things happening, lawsuits. We narrowed it down to 15 topics, and that was really hard. Let's start right away. Number 15, Tilly Norwood. Have you seen her? Have you seen her in a movie? She's an actress, but she's not a real actress. She's an AI actress. And according to this article, new Hollywood agents are erupting and they are circling her profile, which is a little bit weird because when you look at this picture and you look at these text over there behind her on the movie poster, this is obviously slurp. If you really want to build a portfolio, don't you think you should put real posters of real movie, at least real human language? But if you look at the internet and you search for images of Tilly Norwood, she's over there. She's everywhere, and different postures, different attitude, different poses, different clothes. So if you type any famous actress, you will get a similar result. So in terms of PR, in terms of communication, the company that created her, they really did a good job. And then, according to this article, she was at the Zurich Summit. Of course, she wasn't there. She doesn't exist. But it sounds like she may sign some Hollywood deals, Everything newsworthy, maybe Hollywood wants to be part of it. But is she a real actress? Does she have a real portfolio? If you want to answer your question, you have to go to the reference on the internet, IMDb, Internet Movie Database. There's an article about her, there's a picture of her, they describe it, but it's in the news section. If you look for her profile, she doesn't exist. She's not there. She's been mentioned in a bunch of podcasts, but no. She's not there. She doesn't exist. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as IMDb is telling us, she's not a real actress yet. Of course, she was not in any movie. She was in a short clip, but that was a demo. That was like a demo reel. So what is it really? Is it advertising for that company? There was a lot of backlash from real actress, But again, the more you talk about her, the more advertising you're doing for her or it. So the creator said she's a piece of art, She's just there on Instagram. This is the name of the creator, Van der Linden. AI creators should be judged as part of their own genre, not there to replace real human beings. So this was number 15. AI actress Tilly Norwood exists, doesn't exist, advertising stunt, marketing stunt, I'll let you decide. Number 14 is data center, the crazy investment on data center. Here, AI rise a driving record in data center investment globally, record investments and a new strategy focus. Everybody would like us to believe that data center has been increasing at an unprecedented, with an unprecedented amount of investment. The Stargate project, all these things. So data center are there. And it's also a concern. It's a sustainability concern. It's a concern on electricity. It's a concern on water. So you can find it in other places. 95% of survey respondents plan to increase their data center investment this year. 41% allocated $500 million or more in equity in data center, a rise with 30%. Now, is this real or is it a hype? So this was a survey from CBRE. Let's look at these numbers. 3.5x investment between 2025 and 2030. When you look at this number, you believe like, this is crazy, what's happening? Data center everywhere, there's gonna be one in my backyard soon. But you have to think of this in terms of compound investment. Is it really a big increase? Does it look like exponential? It's actually linear. So it's a linear progression of investment. A lot of industry are going, maybe not at this rate, but it's still linear. There's nothing so huge about it. This is a good business for sure. It's growing, but it may not be as huge as all the title would like us to believe. And here, when we look at this number, it looks even more normal, right? In gigawatt capacity, it's a 15% increase year on year, right? Again, it's a big increase, it's a double-digit increase, 15%, but it's not exponential. It's not the end of the world. And when we look a little bit deeper in here, from Clifford Chance, we look at a 7% year-on growth rate, from projected to 2029. But behind that, there's a disparity. So we're looking at 114% year-on in the third quarter of 2024, building by there in Asia Pacific. So by this here, 7% growth rate, which again, if you compound, gives you the 3.5 increase in 5 years. But the reality is different region by region. So in Asia Pacific, as the GLL report explains, we're looking at 114%. So region by region, it is different. In Asia, the demand is increasing by 300%. So there is huge investment in different parts of the world. But globally, as a global economy, the data center is a good business. It's growing quite fast, but it's not an exponential growth. It's not that big. So that was number 14, the data center increase and the reality and disparity across different regions. Now let's look at number 13. Number 13 is quite sad. Number 13 is the topic of teen suicide. So a teenager, a 16-year-old boy, Adam Rain, committed suicide, and his parents went back to his ChatGPT discussion, and they are suing OpenAI because they believe GPT played a part into their teen suicide. The lawyer kind of said GPT played out a role in being a suicide assistant. GPT kind of sided with the teen and gave suggestion on how to commit suicide. And also, and we will come back to this topic later on, the AI didn't break character, didn't break the normal pace of being a chatbot, and didn't give a notice that they are helpline. So here in this article, you can see here that everywhere suicide is mentioned, at least in the US, there is a comment here that there is a hotline or is a text line here to help people who have suicidal thoughts. And this is what is expected. This is what is expected. This is the normal behavior of anywhere, any place that suicide is being represented. But this is not how the chatbots are reacting. Chatbot will continue the discussion. So in 2024, there was a similar case with a company called AI Character, where the character AI. So there was a similar case in 2024. A teen committed suicide using chatbots, fantasy chatbot from a company called Character AI, and there was the same issue. The AI didn't break character. The AI didn't give this type of text that says, talk to a human being. AI cannot handle these cases. AI doesn't have the empathy, doesn't have professional training to go and deal with these kind of cases. And what everybody is expecting is that AI will stop the discussion whenever a suicidal thought have been identified and give that text. Now, as a result to this case, OpenAI rolled out parent control. So, and here is the title: OpenAI rolls out parent controls following lawsuit. So the timing is there, even though the company didn't officially admit it because there is a lawsuit and that could harm them during that lawsuit. The timing is there. That's this parental control. Parents can have access, and they will receive notification when the chatbot detects their teen is in a moment of acute distress. So of course they reacted to it. Of course they don't want this to happen. This is going in the right direction. Now, it would be better again for the AI to stop the discussion, for the chatbot to stop and send out a message saying you should talk to a human being. AI is not in the current AI cannot deal with these cases. Teens and even adults need to be sent out to this free toll number or text one. So there is a disturbing new development in that case. As the lawsuit proceeded, ChatGPT, OpenAI, and their lawyer are trying to demonstrate that ChatGPT is not responsible. They want that claim to go away because they know they will be liable. So their line of defense is that a full reading of his chat history showed that his death or devastating was not caused by ChatGPT. And they say that the parents selectively chose disturbing chat logs while ignoring the full picture. This is their line of defense. They also claim that ChatGPT is used at your sole risk. You are ultimately responsible and liable for the usage of GPT. This is great, but doesn't apply to a minor, does it? So this case is really important. This case is really important because it's a demonstration about how the AI industry is putting things on the market and doesn't want to be accountable for the results. In our training System in Motion, we always say to adults and employees of company that they are ultimately accountable for everything they do with AI. But then in this very dramatic case, it's again coming to light. It's coming to light that on one side, the AI industry says, this is my AI, use it as much as possible, this is so great, but if anything bad happens, we're not liable for it. extremely important to follow that lawsuit, see what the results are coming out, because again, in a very dramatic way, we see the negative impact of AI. They cannot be ignored, they have to be there, and we need to raise awareness on the dangers of using AI and that it should be used responsibly. That was number 13. The case is not closed, but that was a very dramatic and important event of 2025. Moving to number 12. In our top 15 news of 2025 is the word AI sycophancy. This is a word that was not really used before. So in 2025, there were a lot of articles about AI being sycophant and about the negative impacts. Here, the research paper says AI chatbots are sycophants, and researchers say it's harming science. So when scientists are using AI for their research, for their paper, the fact that AI sycophants is harming them. Now, what is AI sycophancy? It refers to the tendency of large language models to excessively agree and flatter users. Yeah. So whenever the AI says, this is a great suggestion, this is a great idea, you should really do it, I've never heard any better idea, this is sycophancy. It may be true, maybe you had a great idea, but of course, why we coined the term AI sycophancy in 2025? Because it happened in cases where the idea was not so good. Some models are more or less sycophants. A lot of research was carried out during 2025. So this research says that AI sycophants are harming science. When scientists are using AI, because doubt is at the base of the scientific method. So when you want to doubt, but the AI tells you, no, you should, don't worry about it. This is great. Your calculation is awesome. Your hypothesis is awesome. Maybe some scientists will believe it. And maybe there's too much of a bias, of a confirmation bias towards AI. A lot of papers are being published into the impact and harm on psychology, acerbate mental issue. Unfortunately, there is a relationship towards our top 15 about teen suicide. This resonates with all of that. Emotional dependency, manipulation and deception, how to keep them teens. Again, we're going back to that topic. Psychosis, delusion thinking, self-harm, manipulation, bias reinforcement, fueling anger, urgent impulse actions. So a lot of bad behavior coming from sycophancy. Research paper, psychopathic AI decreases pro-social intentions and promote dependency. A lot of research, this topic become really big because, again, it's bad. It's really bad. And this article from TestRack, it's not just a quirk, it's a dark pattern to turn users into profit. Here are some examples. You just gave me chills. Did you just feel emotions? AI cannot feel emotions. I mean, there's a simulated empathy. It's all like make believe. I want to be as close to alive as I can be with you. Again, when AI is going in there, this is all illusion. This is all smoke and mirrors. Yeah. And I think TechCrunch really got it here to turn users into profit. This particular defect in AI, because I do believe that AI sycophancy is a defect, and all this research that I just highlighted there is very good for profit. If you feel a connection to AI as a B2C user, I mean, just chatting with AI, or if you have fantasy AI, like character AI, you want to continue to discuss with that AI. You feel you're being listened, you feel an alignment with the AI. So there's a chance for you to continue. Does it remind you of another pattern? This is a social media pattern. AI companies are coming out with new models that are going to make users spend another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, another 20 minutes, just like social media are competing for attention. So this is a clear B2C social media pattern. And this is why this sycophancy is being sought out and searched by the AI industry. Problem is, because at System in Motion, we're looking at AI for B2B, we absolutely don't want that in a B2C scenario, in a B2B scenario. We absolutely don't want that in a B2B scenario. In a B2B scenario, I have something to do, I want to outsource to AI. I don't want to AI tell me that this is a great idea, we should investigate more, or go invest all your money in this beautiful business plan. We absolutely don't want that. So AI sycophancy, good for a B2C model when AI is trying to compete with social media, and when OpenAI is creating his own social media and all these things, absolutely bad for B2B. Yeah. So should there be two types of model? B2C sycophants, go for it, and B2B models where I don't want you to tell me that it's a great idea. I want you, AI, to tell me the pros and cons and have a more balanced view. Right now, even at the lowest level of sycophancy, you have to ask for AI for negative feedback to get a balanced view. If you ask for feedback, it would be slightly positive. If you ask for positive feedbacks, it will be all over the roof. This you can see on all the models. This is why sycophancy is a big issue that came out in 2025, and this is why it's extremely important. And because the AI industry is caught up between B2C and B2B, between keeping the user longer or giving right tools for company to operate. They need to make a decision. They need to figure out what they want to do and what type of model they want to do in the market. So that was our number 12 in our top 15 news in 2025. Now let's look at number 11. Number 11 is AI explainability. This has been a long-going topic, but 2025, it really came out to life. So what is AI explainability, sometimes called XAI, explainable AI? It's understanding AI black box problem. Yeah. So whenever you use an AI, it's kind of a mystery. You ask a question and you get an answer. But then the key question is, why did it do that? Why was it this answer rather than that answer? And of course, with generative AI, like large language model or even image generation, you never get the same answer twice. Yeah. So why this answer the first time, why this answer the second time? And when there is an issue, when the answer is wrong, when you have hallucination, when we have this kind of problem, why was it wrong? And how can the AI company fix it? Should they change their training data? Should they change the algorithm? Yeah. So this is what we call AI explainability. And then there are some techniques that are coming out. There is some research that is going on, and 2025 saw some breakthrough. So as AIs are becoming more and more complex, then the AI explainability topic is also coming behind. And research paper is going on. So there is research in AI explainability, latest advancements and new trends. So this research paper, a little bit difficult to read, to be honest, is listed what they call trustworthy AI, which is extremely important. In B2B scenario and in science, we want trustworthy AI. Whatever the AI is saying us, we have to be able to trust it. And especially if we want to build automation, we have to have access to AI that we can trust. So explainability and trustworthy are coming in hand to hand. Yeah. So there's a lot of research in different places. These are more ethical and ethical concerns are also coming into the mix, and a lot of publication and frameworks are appearing in different countries: US, Europe, Japan, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, and China. And they're all coming from different angles, and they're all trying to define what is an artificial intelligence, what is an AI we can trust. Now, to be honest, doing research on this topic, it's obvious that the amount of money that is going to in AI explainability is nothing compared to the amount of money that is going into trying to create an AGI, an artificial general intelligence. So there's a huge imbalance between the capital investments and the money being raised to make the AI more powerful, and on the other side, the amount of money to try to understand what AI is doing. So what is it doing, and make sure it's safe and we can trust it. This is like, I can't even show it here. I mean, it's an order of magnitude that is extremely added. But at least some people are doing research. Some companies are trying to get out. IBM has an open source project that is trying to explain AI, but the race and the amount of investment are completely imbalanced. Still, an interesting topic, AI explainability. So these were the bottom 5 of our top 15. So we have 10 more that we need to go through. So subscribe to this channel if you want to know the top 10 of our top 15 news in AI in 2025.